insightful conversation with Abhishek Mago, the Chief Marketing Officer of TravelWings.com. He's one of the most influential business leaders of 2024. Abhishek's leadership journey is a testament to the power of continuous learning, adaptability, and inclusive leadership. From excelling in his earlier career to leading high performing tasks, Abhishek has proven that great leadership is built on innovation, empathy, and a collaborative spirit. Today, we'll explore his leadership philosophy, his approach to managing high stakes situations, and his vision for building a better tomorrow through sustainable growth and innovation. Welcome, Abhishek.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And that was
It's a
I've been humbled by your opinions and the words. Thanks.
Oh, it's our honor. So we'll get started by talking a little bit about your journey. So, you've had this incredible career trajectory. So can you share with us what inspired you to pursue a leadership role and also what key moments helped you shape your journey to becoming the CMO of travelings.com?
Right. Uh, so just looking back at my career, and in fact everybody else's career, I don't think there's anybody who specifically does not have a dream of making big in his work life and professional life. Secondly, you don't aspire to be a leader. I think everybody's a leader in its own sense. And for me, I think it was never about getting to a leadership role, rather than it was about excelling at what I'm doing right now. Starting from the first job onwards, it was always about delivering on my KPIs and making sure that the performance is actually up to the mark. And when it actually comes to when did I realize, or what was a pivotal moment? Uh, I think very early on in my career, I was given a group leader and a team leader position within the same year. I think you know managing the team was a very bit different challenge for me. For that matter, where I'm talking about, like it is said, realization was that the computers listen, but people don't. So you'll have to take a different kind of an approach. So it was always about breaking the team in the groups of skill set, like we do with a particular project. Smaller tasks, small focuses, deliver on that particular focus, and then move on to the next. So I set up a growth target for myself, which was divided into different phases that helped me manage the team better, improve the growth and the performance over a period of time. And I think that's when I started realizing that managing people could not be that hard. And that's what actually shaped me to be a better leader over the years.
That's excellent. And because we previously also mentioned in your introduction that you're high on learning. So my next question aligns to that. Continuous learning is a recurring theme in your leadership role. So how do you prioritize learning and growth both for yourself and also your team, especially in the ever-changing travel industry?
Exactly. Very, very nice question for that matter. So learnings are the most important thing. That learning new stuff is the most important thing in anybody's professional life, because we at leadership levels at this stage, I think we are all above 40 at this particular point in time, and we are fast becoming obsolete. So we have to keep in trend, or keep in line with the trends for that matter. So it is always about what to learn at what point in time. For me, it is always a go-to-market strategy where the GTM should be taking the shortest amount of time. So anything that can actually help me understand or leverage a particular tool, a portal, a platform, which can help me reduce that particular time frame, always take priority. Now, with that focus in mind, specifically with the AI and the chatbots actually, going all over the place right now, there are many tools in the market which actually promise to deliver the goods. Some of them do, some of them don't. So idea is about how to excel at those particular tools themselves, plus how to leverage those tools in my current processes so that I can incorporate that particular learning, not just for the team, but also help the execution better. So just with that focus, things become very, very clear. So that's how I actually prioritize learning for the team as well.
That's superb. So, as a leader, you've had this successful journey, but also with success comes failures. So, what challenges did you face transitioning from an individual contributor role to to leading a team? And also, how did you overcome these challenges?
Right. That's also a brilliant question. Now, coming to this particular point, uh, as I said, computers listen, people don't. So that was one of the biggest learnings that I have ever had. Now, one of the challenges at this stage that I can talk about is that every organization always goes through multiple phases of growth. And the challenges faced at each level of growth are way different as compared to what the previous charter or phase actually proposed to them. So to overcome those challenges, there's always a change that will need to be ushered. When I say a change have to be ushered, I do not mean that people need to be let go of. I mean, how do we actually change the thinking processes in approaching the problem solving areas? Now, this approach requires a huge change, and this change itself is actually the biggest challenge in anybody's career or anybody's growth or any organization's life of growth. Now, the idea is to approach every change in a broken down manner, create a clear communication path, get the relevant stakeholders in place, get the change ushered top down. Change always gets in top down, but it should not be pushed in. It should be actually taken in together. So communication plays a very, very vital role in taking care of any challenge whatsoever. No matter how big it is, there is always a solution in the offering. You just have to get the right approach to get to that particular solution.
That's well said, sir. So, the travel industry is huge, and it experiences a major shifts in the recent years. So, how have you adapted to the changing, travel industry, and also what marketing strategies do you adopt to keep pace with the industry changes and also consumer expectations?
Correct. So I've been in the travel industry since 2012, and through multiple organizations, and every organization was at a different in a different phase when I actually joined them. So initially, it was all about getting to the mobile first approach, because mobile was actually catching up big time at that particular point in time. The browsing had started. There was 3G in the place at that particular time, not even 4G at the was available. So mobile first was the first challenge. When it comes to mobile first, there was an adaptation of the websites. Mobile apps were not that particular user friendly at that point in time. So that was a change which is technology driven. Then it was about adapting to the new age channels. So when I say new age channels, it was new age in 2014. That is the Facebook, the Instagrams, the Pinterests, and a couple of others at that point in time. Facebook was ruling the roost at that point in time. So it was adapting to those particular channels. Now, those channels actually started giving us requirements of new processes plus requirements of new skill sets in the system. That was a very interesting problem to solve. Now, the channels themselves, overall, at this particular point in time, the channels themselves remain the same. So we have ATLs, we have BTLs, we have online, we have social. Everybody has the same set of channels. How do you approach getting an engagement on that channel is a challenge at this particular point in time. Everybody is practically trying to do the same thing. And if you look at the travel industry, it is always about travel to this place at this particular price, and that does not actually get you the engagement. There are a couple of organizations which have done very, very brilliantly on that particular front, and we are also moving on the same directions. So it is a combination of every activity that we do. So in terms of when we talk about social or brand building, so influencers, PR, social engagement, posts, videos, reels, everything has to come into place. People talk about UGC being the primary objective because the users are the biggest advocates of your brand, and that nobody's wrong over there. Everything is right. How can you actually get the right mix into place to get the right results that you are focused on? Is the point. So we're just trying to navigate the scenario.
That's amazing. And elaborating on the previous question, travel is a very lucrative industry, but it is extremely challenging as well. So, in the recent
Absolutely.
times, it has become very competitive. So, what do you believe sets travelwings.com apart from other travel companies? And also, what role do you see leadership playing in all of this?
Okay, so leadership will definitely have the biggest role to play in this, but the core focus of Travelwings itself is actually pretty unique. Travelwings, operates out of multiple geographies. We are based out of 32 different countries right now. with a core focus of uh, feeding the empty mouths in Africa. So we are very Africa heavy. So we are present in about 19 countries in Africa at this point in time. Some of the countries we are the leading travel agency. Now, the idea is that within the next few years, there's a specific deadline internally which has been set to it. We should be actually feeding about a million students on a daily basis in the poorest regions of Africa. And with that focus, everything becomes very emotional and personal. And that's what I think travel wings is. That's how travel wings is set apart. Having said that, when that actually comes into picture, the core focus actually becomes a consumer, which technically is for everybody else also. But then how can we get our consumer to realize this particular point? So we focus more on purpose-driven marketing and for purpose-driven business initiatives rather than just being commercial about it. So that's the core focus what I think of. So that how a CEO, our CEO and founder, that's how he drives the organization, and I'm completely in love with it.
Yeah, amazing. And purpose-driven brands are definitely going to, become the best thing in the future. That's what I believe too. So, my next question aligns with team. So, we've spoken about the importance of motivating a team and also building a team. So, what are the key strategies that you use to keep your team energized and focused on delivering their best performance or becoming the best version of themselves?
Right. I don't think that can be answered in such a short period of time. But then, the teams have to be motivated at all points in time. The challenges that are faced on a day-to-day basis, on day-to-day activities, have to be handled with the utmost clarity, and that's why the team's perspective is always the most important. The way that I manage my teams are actually on very inclusive basis. So inclusivity is my core. That's how my personality is driven. So the entire team is always aware of all ups and downs. They are never at risk, or they don't feel nervous about taking a risk. And experiments are an everyday job with the team. The core motive is that try fast, fail fast. The more you actually experiment, the more you will fail at that experiment. The quicker you fail at the experiment, quicker you will get the learnings out of it, and then you can implement the better stuff. So over the past few years, we practically have done hundreds of different kinds of tests, which will include A/B tests at multiple levels, in multiple channels, communication styles, and that actually has given us small incremental improvements, which have become a norm with the team itself. And with the new stuff being welcomed, I think the entire team is actually always very upbeat about it. And I feel that every day I actually have a few team members, not just the leaders, walking in and giving me a new idea of doing some things right in a different way. It could be as simple as how can we present our excels better, as simple as that. So and it's very brilliant. It's brilliant. It's really happy environment. So I think that's the way that I actually look at it.
That's wonderful. And so as you lead in one of the executive roles and you have to juggle a lot of responsibilities day in and out. So my next question to you is that how do you balance the need for creativity and data-driven decision making in your role as a CMO? And also how has this balance impacted the success of travelwings.com?
By keeping them separate and together at the same time. So, creativity could be at any level. So we actually have the data analysis with the MIS team, which is in-house, which is internal to each and every CXO's level as well. So every insight of every campaign or for every channel is always analyzed on Excel. I am a very strong believer in the fact that campaigns are created on, let's say, for example, Google Ads, but optimized on an Excel. So with that, the entire analysis with respect to every creative actually is measured, and what to do right and what to do next is actually a result of that particular analysis. Now, if I keep this isolated, then my creative team does not get the first-hand experience, and the accountability is always challenged. Now, the idea is to get the creative team to become accountable for the next result that actually comes into picture. This is where the analysis for the creative team also is done with the inclusion of creative team in the place. So when I say creative, it will require the campaign managers, the designers, the video editors, the content writers, so on and so forth. So accountability comes into picture, then they themselves actually come out with the next brilliant idea. And how to modify a plain simple thing to actually make it more effective, engaging, and that's how I actually managed it to put it together.
That's fantastic. So we'll touch a little bit upon the future now. So finally, what is your future goals for travelwings.com, and also how do you envision the company growing under your leadership in the upcoming years?
Plain and simple. Now, the company has to, become one of the most formidable names when it actually comes to travel industry. It has to become the top of the mind brand for all the markets that we're targeting on. It has to expand beyond the current geographies that we are working on, and then it has to build up a scale on that one. So the focus is always driven by the market that we're talking about. So there are going to be the stars, the dogs, the cash cows in the system at this particular point in time. The idea is to build scale in the existing set of markets where we leverage not just existing product lines but actually expand on it as well. The new markets, establish yourself, get the scale in place, get the brand building done in place. So the similar template actually applies to them over the next period of time. We expect our company to grow by multiple, I'm so sorry about it, by a multiple in multiple levels. We should actually look at a multi-million dollar growth, which we are very, very excited about. We have already grown 900x over the last 1.5 years, and I think we just want to, maintain the growth rate, if not increase it.
That looks like a promising future right there. And also this brings us to the end of the interview. So I just want to thank you for your time. It has been an absolute honor talking with you, and I love your initiative of focusing on the purpose driven approach that you have rather than focusing on the monetary gains. So I'm also rooting for your success, and I wish you all the best for your future endeavors, and I hope that you reach to new heights every single day.
Thank you so much for this one. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yes, sir.
Really.
Likewise. Have a great day ahead.
You